Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another explosive edition of Hollywood Hot Takes, where we dive deep into the drama that shakes Tinseltown to its core. Today, we're unpacking one of the most shocking moments in daytime TV history. Sandra Bullock, the queen of rom-coms and action flicks, abruptly walking off the Kelly Clarkson Show after a fiery dispute that left jaws on the floor and social media in a frenzy. Picture this, it's a sunny afternoon in Los Angeles, the studio lights are blazing, and Kelly Clarkson, ever the bubbly host with her powerhouse vocals and infectious laugh, is gearing up for what was supposed to be a feel-good chat with one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Sandra, fresh off promoting her latest thriller that's got everyone buzzing about her return to the big screen, strolls in looking effortlessly chic in a tailored blazer and jeans, her signature smile lighting up the room. The audience erupts in applause, fans waving signs that read, "We love Sandy." And Kelly wastes no time pulling her into a warm hug, reminiscing about their mutual love for strong female leads in cinema. But as the cameras roll and the band strikes up a playful tune, who could have predicted that beneath this polished surface, tensions were simmering, ready to boil over into a confrontation that would dominate headlines for days. As we rewind the tape, let's explore how a simple interview spiraled into chaos, revealing the raw underbelly of celebrity life where egos clash and truths get unleashed. Kelly kicks things off with the usual flair, asking about Sandra's journey from Miss Congeniality to Oscar darling, and Sandra opens up about the challenges of balancing motherhood with her demanding career. It's all hearts and flowers at first, with the two women bonding over shared stories of divorce and reinvention. Yet, as the conversation deepens, subtle cracks begin to show, hints of something more contentious lurking just beneath the banter. This isn't just tabloid fodder, it's a masterclass in how one misplaced question can ignite a powder keg, and we're here to break it all down, moment by blistering moment, so buckle up as we relive the showdown that redefined talk show drama. Fast forward a few minutes into the segment, and the vibe is still electric, with Kelly leaning in conspiratorially to probe Sandra about her rumored next project, a gritty biopic that's stirring whispers of controversy for its unfiltered take on a real-life scandal. Sandra laughs it off at first, her eyes sparkling with that trademark wit, deflecting with a quip about how Hollywood loves to stir the pot more than she loves a good espresso martini. The audience eats it up, chuckling along as Kelly pivots to safer waters, gushing over Sandra's timeless beauty and how she's the epitome of grace under pressure, even throwing in a spontaneous duet of a line from The Blind Side that has everyone in stitches. But then, like a storm cloud rolling in uninvited, Kelly drops the bomb, a seemingly innocent query about Sandra's past relationships, specifically probing whether the star regrets not speaking out sooner against an ex who allegedly leaked private photos years ago, a story that's been resurrected by a fresh podcast digging into #MeToo oversights in the industry. Sandra's smile falters for a split second, a flicker of steel in her gaze that the cameras catch just in time, but she recovers with poise, saying it's water under the bridge and she's focused on empowering women now, not dwelling on old wounds. Kelly, perhaps sensing the shift but pushing forward with her host's instinct to keep the energy high, jokes about how all celebs have skeletons, and hers involve bad hair days from her idol days. Light, right? Wrong. The room temperature drops noticeably as Sandra straightens in her seat, her fingers tightening around her water glass, and you can almost hear the collective intake of breath from the crowd. This is where the script flips from fluff to friction, where personal boundaries get tested on live TV, and what follows is a testament to why even icons like Bullock aren't immune to the glare of unfiltered scrutiny. As the applause dies down from the musical bit, the real show begins, and oh boy, does it deliver fireworks that rival any summer blockbuster Sandra's ever starred in. Now, escalating the tension like a thriller plot twist, Kelly doubles down, her enthusiasm perhaps blinding her to the storm brewing across the couch. She references a recent article claiming Sandra's selective silence on certain industry abuses has painted her as complicit, framing it as just a fun debate to spark conversation among viewers. Sandra's response is measured at first, a polite nod followed by a firm clarification that she's always advocated behind the scenes, donating millions to women's shelters without fanfare, because true change doesn't need a red carpet. The audience murmurs in agreement, a few claps rippling through, but Kelly, ever the provocateur in her post-divorce empowerment era, counters with her own raw story of navigating toxic dynamics in music, suggesting that public callouts are the only way to hold power accountable these days. It's here that the dispute ignites. Sandra, her voice steady but laced with an edge sharper than a prop knife from one of her action scenes, retorts that not every survivor owes the world their trauma on a silver platter, especially when networks profit from the spectacle. The studio falls into a hush, broken only by the faint hum of the lights, as Kelly's eyes widen in surprise, her usual quick wit momentarily stalled. Sandra presses on, her passion rising like a tide, arguing that weaponizing pain for ratings undermines the very movement they're both champions of, and suddenly, the interview feels less like a chat and more like a courtroom drama with two titans trading barbs. Fans later dissect every micro-expression, Sandra's furrowed brow, Kelly's hesitant smile, turning it into meme gold, but in the moment, it's pure, unscripted intensity that has producers sweating behind the glass. This clash isn't just personal, it's a microcosm of broader debates raging in entertainment, where authenticity battles commodification, and vulnerability is currency. As the exchange heats up, with Sandra gesturing emphatically and Kelly leaning forward defensively, the line between guest and host blurs, setting the stage for the ultimate mic drop exit that no one saw coming. Diving deeper into the heart of the blaze, the dispute reaches fever pitch as voices rise just enough to echo off the studio walls, drawing stunned glances from the band in the corner. Sandra, drawing from her well of hard-earned wisdom, accuses the media machine of cherry-picking narratives to fit agendas, citing how her own career pivots have been twisted into tales of reinvention rather than resilience against systemic barriers women face in Hollywood. Kelly, not one to back down, after all, she's belted ballads that could shatter glass, fires back that silence in the face of injustice is a luxury not everyone can afford, sharing a vulnerable anecdote about her own battles with label execs who tried to box her into a pop princess mold. The back and forth crackles with authenticity, each woman laying bare frustrations that transcend their individual beef, touching on everything from ageism to the double standards that plague female stars over 40. Audience members shift uncomfortably, some nodding fervently while others whisper in shock, and the social media feeds outside the studio start lighting up with real-time reactions. Is this real life? Tweets flooding in by the hundreds. Sandra, her cheeks flushed with the fire of conviction, stands her ground, emphasizing that her choice to heal privately isn't evasion but self-preservation in an industry that devours vulnerability. Kelly concedes a point with a gracious, "You're right, I get that, but the damage is done," the air thick with unspoken accusations of performative allyship versus genuine grit. It's a pivotal moment that humanizes both icons, stripping away the gloss to reveal the warriors beneath, yet it also underscores the peril of live TV where one heated word can derail a decade of goodwill. As the argument crests, with Sandra pausing to sip her water like a gunslinger holstering her weapon, the tension hangs palpably, everyone braced for resolution or rupture, and rupture it is, in spectacular fashion. This fiery core of the feud isn't villainy, it's the messy beauty of two powerhouses refusing to play small, even if it means scorching the set in the process. And then, in a move that's already etching itself into entertainment lore, Sandra Bullock rises from her seat mid-sentence, her chair scraping against the floor like a dramatic cue in a noir film. The audience gasps collectively, a wave of, "No way," rippling through the seats, as Kelly reaches out instinctively, her hand hovering in midair with a mix of concern and confusion etched on her face. "Sandy, wait, let's talk this out," Kelly pleads, her voice cracking with genuine emotion, but Sandra, shoulders squared and chin high, shakes her head softly, murmuring something about needing space to process before the words can twist further. Without another glance back, she strides toward the exit, her heels clicking authoritatively against the polished stage, passing stunned crew members who part like the Red Sea. The cameras follow her retreat in handheld frenzy, capturing the sway of her blazer and the determined set of her jaw, while Kelly sits frozen, mouthing a silent, "What just happened?" to the director off camera. Back in the studio, an awkward silence descends, broken only by a lone audience member's awkward cough, before Kelly composes herself with remarkable grace, turning to the crowd with a shaky laugh. "Well, folks, that's Hollywood, raw and real. Let's give it up for Sandra's honesty." Sparse applause follows, more out of politeness than enthusiasm, as the band awkwardly segues into a cover of "Stronger" that feels ironically on the nose. Outside, paparazzi swarm like bees to honey, flashes popping as Sandra emerges into the daylight, sliding into a waiting SUV without a word, her publicist already fielding calls. This walk-off isn't petulance, it's a bold statement of boundaries, a queen reclaiming her narrative on her terms, leaving the talk show world reeling from the aftershocks. In the hours that follow, clips go mega viral, racking up millions of views, with hashtags like #SandraStandsUp and #KellyVsBullock trending worldwide, turning a single segment into a cultural touchstone for empowerment and the right to say. In the whirlwind aftermath, reactions pour in from every corner of the celebrity sphere, painting a tapestry of support, shade, and soul-searching that keeps the story alive long after the credits roll. Fellow A-listers like Reese Witherspoon tweet solidarity with Sandra, praising her for modeling healthy exits in toxic convos, while Oprah chimes in via IG Live, calling it a teachable moment on the art of difficult dialogues. Kelly, true to form, addresses the elephant on her next show with a heartfelt monologue, owning her part in the pushiness and inviting Sandra back for a makeup jam session, classy, vulnerable, and quintessentially Clarkson. Sandra, meanwhile, breaks her silence through a poised statement on her socials, thanking fans for the love and reiterating her commitment to quiet advocacy over spectacle, subtly shading the entertainment grind without naming names. Tabloids feast on the feast, speculating wild theories from long-simmering grudges to scripted stunts, but insiders whisper it's all genuine fallout from the relentless pace of promo tours clashing with personal healing. Viewership for the Kelly Clarkson Show spikes 40%, proving drama's magnetic pull, while Sandra's thriller pre-sales soar, her walk-off inadvertently becoming the best PR since her Speed days. Broader ripples hit the industry too. Talk shows tweak guest protocols, emphasizing consent in tough topics, and hashtag walk-off Wednesday trends as fans share their own stories of boundary-setting triumphs. Ultimately, this fiery dispute transcends beef. It's a catalyst for conversations on respect, resilience, and the high cost of candor in the spotlight, reminding us that even icons bleed when pricked. As we wrap this deep dive, one thing's crystal clear. Sandra Bullock didn't just walk off a set, she walked into legend, proving that sometimes, the most powerful scene is the one you cut yourself. Thanks for tuning in, drop your takes below, and remember, in Hollywood, the real plot twists are the ones we live.